Welcome to Business Line's State of the Economy podcast, where you'll find insight, analysis, and the story behind the numbers.
Hi all, welcome to Business Line's State of the Economy podcast on commodities. Gold is on the upswing again, booming to new highs every day of late. The yellow metal is currently ruling about $2,625 per troy ounce, and analysts are seeing it touching at least $2,900. One of the reasons for this bullish run, the US Fed rate cut last week. How will gold behave in the coming months? How will Fed rate cuts be? What are the upside and downside risks? To tell you all about these things, we have with us Mr. Colin Shah, MD, Kama Jewelry. Mr. Shah is also an important member of the Gem and Jewelry Export Council. Mr. Colin Shah, welcome to Business Line's State of the Economy podcast and commodities. You had taken part in our earlier podcast also. In that, you had predicted correctly that gold prices will rise, especially when the Fed goes in for a cut in the interest rates. Now, gold is, touching new levels every day. Where do you see the gold prices going for the rest part of the year? One and two, how do you expect the Fed to come up with further cuts?
Yeah. Hi, thanks, Subramani, and thank you for having me again on your show. See, gold has been in a bull run for the last, I would say, 2 years. Once it broke the 1800 levels, it has not seen any, I would say, going back. And now that the Fed has cut interest rates, and with further interest rate cuts expected in the next, before December, and then few more next year, gold will continue to go up because it has an inversely, proportional relationship with between the strength of the dollar. So if whenever interest rates go down, gold goes up. That's a given, because it's the only safe haven in the world. Number one. Number two is with I guess all the geopolitical issues that we are seeing, many central governments across the world are nervous about the dollar. They don't have the faith in the dollar that they used to have, and that's why they're hedging their bets also by purchasing more gold. So you're seeing a combination of factors where interest rates are going down in the US. As interest rates go down, and with the data coming in, US elections, many other elections happening globally, the Chinese economy being not so good, and now a further escalation in the Israel crisis with the Hezbollah and bombing happening. Geopolitical issues continue to, I guess, weigh very heavily in the minds of everyone. And while in India, we are seeing, our economy on fire, and the stock market going up, and corporate profits are robust, and there is huge growth happening. It's not the same globally. So we will see gold only strengthening. Of course, in the next 12-month period, from time to time, like any other commodity, there will be small corrections, at every level, gold. So once it hits 2650, there'll be a correction. At every $50, $100, you see a slight blip and then a further strengthening. That's how gold's been behaving since, many years now. So, that's how things are today, unless the world comes to a very peaceful scenario where the wars come to an end, and the Chinese economy, say, bounces back a little bit, and the American dollar, gains a little strength if their deficit goes down, so all these things look unlikely today.
Some of the analysts are seeing gold prices touching as high as $2,900 per ounce. Do you think, what is your view on this part of it?
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, why 2,900? I think it will break 3,000 also in the next 12-month period. Again, like I said earlier, if the wars continue, if interest rates keep on going down, if China stays like what it is, the dollar risk continues, there's no reason why gold won't continue to go up, because there is no other safe haven. See, today, if you're a central government, where can you park your funds?
So that explains why even countries like Saudi Arabia are now buying.
Yeah.
So where do you see the downside risk for gold?
Like I said, the downside risk will only happen if the American data improves drastically. If there is strength in the US dollar, if the Chinese economy comes back, if there is light at the end of the tunnel between Russia, Ukraine, and Israel crisis, if all these, say, if even one thing gets solved, then yes, gold, will correct a little bit. But if nothing gets solved, then it will only stay here or strengthen further.
So you did talk about the Indian situation where you're saying we are a little different from this. But how do you see gold prices behaving in India? Because often we tend to reflect what's happening in the global market.
So India will continue to stay strong. I mean, obviously, if the dollar price goes up, the rupee price also goes up. We've had some respite this year because of the duty cuts. So where our prices in India are now close to what the prices are internationally. They are not exactly the same. We still have a 5% duty and 3% GST. So there is a 8% difference for the consumer when they buy gold in India. But the difference now is, half of what it used to be, say, 6 months back. So gold price will be near international levels. Every high, our consumer does pause, for a couple of weeks. And like we're in the Shraddh period right now. So the market is a little soft and with the gold rates going up. So it's gold rates going up plus Shraddh, so it's a combination of factors where the market is soft. And we are seeing, the consumer pausing their gold buying to that extent. But I'm sure that as soon as Shraddh ends and we get into Navratri and Diwali, that period, because that's the start of the wedding season in India, and it continues till Akshay Tritiya. So I'm expecting the 6-7 months to be extremely strong. And if you see even the import data of last month, where record imports were made in anticipation of the season.
So we are also expecting a better Kharif crop this year. And the other one is the festival period is just beginning. As you said, the Navratri is beginning, and then we have the Dhanteras coming up. Then we have the Christmas coming up. Where do you see prices for the Indian consumers to be?
Come Diwali, your guess is as good as mine. I think we're going to have every weekend one new high. So it's a matter of time before we cross 70, 75,000. I think it's just, every weekend you'll probably see, 1,000 to 2,000 rupee jump come Diwali. So if you're a consumer and if anybody who's listening to this, I would not wait because it doesn't seem like the geopolitical issue is going to ease up. So at whichever level they buy, in a 1 year or 2 year time frame, they will make up, a good profit and a return on their investment.
Sir, how do you see silver behaving? It's going to follow suit with gold, or
Silver was underpriced for, I would say, for many, many years. And silver, unlike gold, it's not central banks who are buying, but there is jewelry plus a big industrial use. And with EVs becoming larger globally and, silver being used in these, I guess, the cars, there is no reason why silver should also see any correction in that sense. And, yes, it's been just like gold seeing a new high every weekend. So silver also will continue to go up from these levels.
sir, you have been part of the Gem and Jewelry Export Promotion Council. So we have had a report yesterday on how exports are down as well as imports are down. And also for the whole, for the fiscal till now, gem and jewelry are not doing practically well because the drop has been in double digits. So how do you see things going as regards
And,
to that?
it's similar to why gold is going up, but the geopolitical issue is definitely causing a little bit of crisis on the export front. US is not as strong as it used to be. So, and after the pandemic, see, there are a variety of reasons. After the pandemic, the American retailers had a boom for a good, 2 years. So in that period, they bought a lot of inventory, right? Because they thought the boom will continue. Now, last year, we saw a little softness in that boom. So there is still a lag of high inventory that they purchased last year, which will continue to be there towards the end of the year. So I think this Christmas, they will sell the excess part of the inventory that they bought last year, plus some new inventory. But that is seeing a big impact on exports out of India. We're seeing a 20% drop because the American retailer and the European retailer is buying less, right? They're buying less because they bought more last year. So the demand as such is maybe down in single digits, but the exports out of India is down 20%. So that's on the American and European side. On the Chinese side, it continues to languish. So China used to be the second largest market for natural diamonds, and now it's India. China is no longer the second largest market for diamonds because the consumption over there has really dropped, and a large part of the consumer over there has moved to gold because of the appreciation that they're seeing in gold. So the China effect, the US effect, and then last but not the least is the lab grown diamond effect. Because lab grown diamonds, while there is demand for lab grown, but the value of lab grown is quite economical. So it is not able to, I guess, supplement or replace the value of the natural diamond. So all in all, when you see a combination of all these reasons, we are seeing a drop in exports. And I really think that it will continue to struggle, I think, for the next 12-month period. And we'll maybe see a nicer Christmas in 25. But 24, I think we are still going to face a tough time.
Sir, and one final question, sir, duty has been brought down on gold and silver. Now, are we seeing a lower amount of, or are we seeing decreasing levels of smuggling? That was a big issue for the industry.
See, I can't really comment on that because, I don't know what's really happening closely at the borders in the last 2-3 months. But I can only comment as a industry person that the difference which used to be there between, say, gold, which you officially imported, paid all duties and taxes and sold to the consumer in India, vis-a-vis the gold which used to be smuggled, right? The difference which used to be there today is not enough for smuggling to. It's difficult for whoever was doing that to, be in that business.
Sir, thank you very much. Very enlightening views, and I hope we will again meet again after probably if gold is going to touch 3,000.
Thank you. Thank you for
Thank you very much for your insight.
Thank you.